The housing market is red hot, and real estate experts say next year will be even hotter. Realtor.com is just releasing its forecast for 2016. It says new home construction and a growing market for existing home sales will push real estate sales to levels we haven't seen since 2006.
Existing home sales will be moderate, estimated at a 3% increase because of higher mortgage rates, tight lending standards, and lower affordability. But construction will be key. The forecast is for a 12% increase in new construction starts and 16% growth in new home sales. All of that will lead to 6 million new and existing home sales in 2016 for the first time again since 2006.
Recently, KTVU's Mike Meback had a chance to talk to the chief economist for Realtor.com about what we can expect here, and Mike asked him who exactly is buying.
Well, we're really seeing three demographic segments. This was the year that the older millennial really emerged and represented the largest buyer in 2015. But we're also seeing Gen X really get into recovery, driven by job relocation and opportunities and desire to get better neighborhoods.
Is that 35 to 45 kind of?
Yes. 35
okay.
to 44 is the particular age slice. And then we're also seeing 65 to 74. So basically the older baby boomers entering or considering retirement are also really starting to have an impact.
So you talked about the pace slowing down. What are the reasons that you're finding that out? Why?
Well, part of it is just the market returning to normal. We've had several years of in many places, double-digit or near double-digit price increases. Part of that was just recovering and having fewer distress. And then, of course, the backdrop of a really strong economy producing jobs now at a pace that's really driven household formation. And all of that is continuing but slowing down a little bit. And so as a result, we're not making up for the pendulum swinging too far. We're now just seeing essentially a more normal pace of growth and a more normal pace of price appreciation.
I mean, I got to call you out on that normal pace of growth. I mean, at least here in the Bay Area, I feel like the home prices continue to skyrocket. Do you have an explanation of how high these are going to go, and if you think the Bay Area is kind of in a bubble or not?
Well, and in fact, of course, there is really no such thing as a U.S. housing market. All housing is local, and you're absolutely right. This forecast is the summation of what we're seeing across the country, and individual markets have very different forecasts. And I'm sorry to tell you that if you're upset by the strong price appreciation, that's not going to change in San Francisco next year. We're forecasting over 9% increase in home prices again in the Bay Area next year, and it's being driven by two things. Really strong demand that's a product of one of the best economies in the country, and extremely limited supply. You simply have a housing shortage, and new construction is so slow and so difficult in a land-constrained environment that you can't keep pace. And the good news is your economy is producing the incomes and the jobs that people are able to pay those higher prices, but it's increasingly becoming a concern with regards to affordability and how long this can be sustained.
So it's just kind of the way of life out here, I guess.
It is. I guess if you have to choose a devil, that's a pretty decent one if you're an existing homeowner.
Say people living in the Bay Area don't want to sell. They don't want to cash in on all that equity in their house, but maybe they want to refi. Are you seeing any trends out there in regards to people refinancing before the rates go up, if they go up, and then, you know, maybe doing some projects around the house?
Yeah, definitely. This has been a year of volatility in rates. We actually saw a pretty significant increase in rates from the beginning of this year through June. But then, of course, the market pretty much returned all that increase. And so you've had months where you've had more refinancing. I would characterize the refinance market as essentially almost tapped out, because everybody with the credit to be able to refinance has pretty much done so. So lenders are turning more of their attention to the purchase market, and that's likely where more of the growth is in the future. But in a high-cost market, it's extremely difficult to qualify for a mortgage, so that's part of the reason why the growth in sales is likely to slow down.
Well, he also told Mike that commute times also have a big impact on where people buy. Jonathan Smoke says those high Bay Area housing prices would be even worse if people weren't so willing to drive far distances to work.
And people are doing that. Realtor.com actually pegs Sacramento as one of its top 10 markets for 2016, partly because cheaper gas and more affordable housing there is luring home buyers to the Sacramento area, and they're willing to drive all the way to the Bay Area to come to work, and that is a long drive.
It is a long drive. You got the gas money it cost you, but more affordable living for sure.
A lot cheaper there.